The need I was really trying to meet in buying that tire was actually about protecting my son. It wasn't about trying to find the cheapest tire.
When I used to get that question, to be honest, in the early days, I didn't necessarily believe all that much in us, not because I didn't think we were good, but just because we were at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I thought it made me think, well, yeah, the person next door is charging £10 less, and obviously the customer will go there. So I just felt a bit depleted.
Yeah, so there's something about being in touch with the value that you're actually creating. And I'll give you a good story that made me really aware of this, but when I was shopping for tires. So I had been driving around in Manchester. I was on the M60 and my car had a blowout. I had my 3-month-old son in the back of the car, and the tire obviously came off on the road. Very scary, and I was really shaken up by that, much more than I would have been as a single man, because I had my baby in the car with me. Now, when I went to go and get that tire replaced, I had this interesting situation where I went up and ordered a tire, and they started trying to fix the tire. Almost, it was strange because I remember they already had the car on the ramp and they were taking the wheel off almost before I'd even spoken to them. And then I asked them how much, and the guy came back with a slip of paper with 4 prices written on it, and there were different brand names and different numbers on for each tire, and that was how I got consulted effectively, which was there were 4 tires with 4 different prices, and I looked at these different prices and I immediately just chose the cheapest one because I had nothing else to go on. And as I was sitting in there waiting for them to replace that car, I suddenly started to feel anxious because I didn't know what this tire was they were fitting, because the need I was really trying to meet in buying that tire was actually about protecting my son. It wasn't about trying to find the cheapest tire. But that conversation was never had. If I'd had the chance to buy a tire that was less likely to blow out, and it was £50 more, I would have had that tire, because that was my real reason for attending, as I wanted much more than just mobility. And I never had that conversation. That's why it didn't feel nice to me. And the guy who sold me the tire also didn't know about the difference of the different tires. He didn't know about the value of the engineering of tires. And there actually is a ton of value in tires, but that's for another show. The point is, you must get into the head of your customer to figure out what's valuable to them. And then you'll suddenly realize it's not just about how much, because they have a lot of other questions on the other side of how much that we need to understand and talk to those real needs, not just the superficial ones.